Hi, I'm Sarah from Sarah Homfray Embroidery, and I am here today to tell you about what's going up on my other channel, Sarah Homfray Creates. It's going up this week, and I'm going to give you a little taster of what else you can find on that channel if you haven't discovered it yet. So I initially started my second channel as a kind of a vlogging channel. I wanted to record other things that I was doing creatively that didn't necessarily fit onto this channel. So this morphed into a space where I could get a little bit experimental really. I could try some different techniques, I could try some different creative ideas I had that maybe didn't necessarily fit into this format on this channel. So I've done lots of different kinds of things on my Creates channel, and I thought I'd just give you a little bit of a taster of some of the things you can expect to see on there. And if you haven't seen it yet, hopefully you'll pop over and check them out and you'll be inspired to try some different creative things too. So I really love to explore anything that's creative really, whether I'm stitching, whether I'm printing, dyeing fabrics and threads, and I love painting and sketching as well. And the Creates channel starts with that kind of subject really. So I did a trip to India a couple of years ago now, really inspired by that, and I made an elephant embroidery. I did some gold work in an elephant, and I show you how I did that process. So from start to finish, so from designing the elephant design, making the design, choosing the materials I'm going to use to stitch it, and actually doing the stitching as well. And if you're inspired by that video and you enjoy that, you think I quite fancy stitching a little elephant, that design is free on the free stuff page of the website. I'll put a link in the description below this video if you want to go and have a look at that. So I do like to use my surroundings to inspire my embroideries. So I had a field very close to me that was full of these most amazing poppies, and I went out into the field and I collected some petals, and I came back and I put them in the dye pot, and I dyed some fabrics and threads with these beautiful poppy petals. I then sketched out a design from some of the poppies in the field, and I stitched them with the actual materials I dyed from the poppy petals, and I made the whole thing into a sketchbook that I could then go back into the field and do some more drawings of the poppies with. That one was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed making that video. I hope you enjoy that one too. The poppy field isn't there anymore. It's got some houses on it, so I kind of feel like I've recorded a moment in time where I live of these beautiful poppy flowers. So I did the same thing with some acorns and some oak leaves. I'm lucky enough to have Sherwood Forest on my doorstep, and I took a wonderful walk there amongst the ancient oak trees of the forest, and I collected some of the acorns and leaves off the forest floor, and I had to go resist dyeing. So this is where you paint a design on with a resist that stops the fabric in that area from being coloured when it goes in the dye pot. And then I made it into this lovely little foraging bag. I'm really lucky to have lots of forest and lots of woodland where I live, and I do a lot of foraging. I do like to go and have a look and see what my next stitching idea might be, so it's always great to have a little bag with me that I can put my found goodies in. So there are a few other dyeing videos as well. I made a solar dye jar. It's super easy, really fun to have a go at. So just stuff some fabrics and some threads and some ribbons, whatever you fancy, into a jar with some dye stuff, so something that's going to produce some colour, add some water to it, and then you just leave it in the sun just to do its thing. Go and check out this video to see what I pulled from the dye jar. It's really exciting, and again, another super easy project to have a go at. You just do need a little bit of patience, and oh yeah, of course, you need some sunshine too. I've done some dyeing with some tea bags, and anybody who's tried to get a tea stain out of a white tablecloth will know how well tea bags dye things. So the tannins in the tea make it a great one to get into some fabric dyeing. If you want to have a go at fabric dyeing, this is a wonderful place to start. You can use up your leftover tea bags after you've enjoyed a cuppa, so nothing goes to waste for this. You can pop in some rusty nails in there as well for some super exciting effects. And undoing all my little tea and rust dyed fabric parcels was so exciting at the end of the video. You just didn't know what you were going to get, and none of them disappointed. So if you're somebody who likes results, this is definitely one for you to try. So I mentioned earlier that I like painting and drawing, so I've got some videos on some of my sketchbooks that I have used for projects. They're in lots of different styles. So we've got project-based ones where I study and collect information on a specific subject. So this one here is my sea theme project. This one was a lot of fun because there's lots of different ways of collecting information there. You don't have to be able to draw to do this. You can collect pictures and photographs and little bits of fabric, anything that sort of reminds you of the subject you're studying. So a really good way of immersing yourself in a subject and getting lots of different ideas. So I've got a video on a trip that we did to Norway. I took my sketchbook with me and I did some paintings and I did some sketching as well. I've also got some embroidery that I did, some slow stitching inspired by the landscape, and I went for a bit of a forage as well. I foraged for interesting things on the shores of the fjords. Didn't find very much. Norway's very tidy, very clean, but I found a few interesting bits and I show you in that video how you can use those to make something creative and something artistic as well. And I even filled up my brush pen, my water pen, and with some water from the fjords. It's beautiful, crystal clear water, and I'm sure it made my painting much better. So if you're interested in drawing and improving your drawing skills for embroidery, there is a video on a flip through of a project I did when I drew every day for 365 days for the whole year. Not just to improve my drawing skills, but also to improve my looking skills as well. It taught me what to look at and what I was interested in. And I talk about the problems that I found and how I overcame them by drawing every day and what I got out of doing it. And I frequently do go back and look at this book for an ideas and inspiration when I'm looking for a new project. So I've got my sister Caroline guesting with me on how she designs for an embroidery, and you may know Caroline from this channel. She does our Tamba videos, but she's a very talented artist and a very talented stitcher as well, and she just gives us her take on how she would design for an embroidery, and we have a little chat about that. It's really interesting to see the processes someone else takes, and she shows us a great way to add some interesting backgrounds to your stitching. So if you want to see a different way to do something, do go and check that video out and see what methods Caroline uses. Very inspiring and really creative as well. There are other videos as well on longer projects. So I've done a couple of yearly projects. So as well as my drawing every day, I did a temperature sampler and I stitched a row of stitching every day, and I've recorded the temperature and the weather that was going on every day for a whole year. That one is really fascinating. There were lots of people doing kind of knitted versions and crochet versions, but I don't knit or crochet, so I thought I would do a stitch one. So if you're interested in this, there's a whole video on how I did that, how I picked my temperatures and how I picked my colours and the kinds of stitches and things that I put in there to represent the weather. January is a great time to start that one, so if you're interested in this, go and check that one out now. You've got time to prepare and work out your colour schemes and gather your materials together. So I've got several videos on stitched books. So that was another monthly project, and I did one piece of embroidery for every month and then I stitched it together in a book. So there's 2 videos on that showing you the individual pages and then how I assembled the book together. So there really is loads of different things going on there, but I haven't put anything up for a long time. It's been over a year and I'm really keen to kickstart the channel again. So I've got another project I want to show you, and it involves these things. So I've got another fabric book, I got some plants and I've got a hammer. So if you want to know what this is all about, you'll need to pop over to my Creates channel and check that one out. It's a super easy project to do. It's really good fun, and you can do a lot with it as well. So that one is coming soon. Do pop over there and have a look and see what on earth is going on here. So you can see the channel by clicking on the link that I'll put up at the end of this video, or you can go straight to YouTube and you can just type into the search box. You can put Sarah Homfray Creates in there. That will pop straight over to my channel and you can watch all of the videos that I have mentioned there. And I'll also put a link in the description below this video that you can just click on if you want to go straight to the channel that way. So several different ways to go and find my Create channel. So if you're on a device that you can click these links over here, I'll put the channel up here. You can pop over to that now and have a look at those videos. I do hope you will join me, and lots of experimenting and fun. Do come and join me for that and experiment with you, and I will see you all next time.